All right, and we are live here on the channel. Now, uh, I am in a rough spot as far as time is concerned, so I am not able to produce a video for the TBR. So you're getting a live stream for the TBR instead, a to be read. Um, Not a full TBR either. The TBR is um, half a TBR, a third of a TBR, really. But I am open to suggestions. Now, here's the one thing that I'm going to start trying to, well, I'm going to start trying to not bump the table and make the old camera there shake uncontrollably. But one thing I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start doing a Friday, 5 Live Friday on the channel. So if you have any suggestions for what to do for the 5 Live Fridays, what that is I'm going to read five of something on a stream. Sometimes it's poems, sometimes it's pages from a story. The first one was 5 pages from A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens because it was Charles Dickens' birthday. So what I'm going to be doing with the 5 lives is every Friday I'm going to go live. I do not have a set idea for what time, but if you have five of something, you want me to read 5 pages from something, or 5 poems from someone, or 5 particular poems, let me know. I'm thinking about eventually doing a great big long live stream on a Friday live, a 5 Live Friday, where I take in short stories that are public domain and read through all of them, sort of as a celebration of public domain. There are websites that sort of celebrate public domain as stories become public domain. And what that is in the United States is it has been published for 100 years. Once it's been published for 100 years, it is available for everyone. So I might start doing that. We are in the realm now of Hemingway being public domain. So that is exciting for me. F. Scott Fitzgerald, I think a lot of his short stories over 100 years ago, public domain. So it's going to be interesting what the public domain looks like in the next few years, because it's going to be a lot of the stuff that gets taught as literary fiction. And I have a partial theory as to why the literary movement of the expatriates has been as big as it has been, and that is because they were just hello Leo, they were just cool enough to not quite be public domain. So I have a feeling that now that they are public domain, a lot of these short stories will be sort of filtered out from the curriculae around the country, at least on the college level. Leo says, "This is such a nice surprise, and I'm happy to see you and that you randomly went live, because the other day I couldn't be here, although I did catch the playback." It's nice to see you as well, Leo. Yeah, this is a new thing for me. I've not done the live thing yet. I am thinking about getting, pardon me, this, guys, every time I start feeling better, my cough comes back. And then everything will get really bad and I won't have a cough. And then I'll start feeling good and my cough will come back. But this is something very new to me, Leo, doing this live stream type thing. So it's something I kind of enjoy. I don't know how fruitful they are when it's a 5 Live Friday type thing. I don't know. What I'm trying to do on the channel. So I will have, by the end of National Poetry Month, uploaded every day for, I think it's 396 consecutive days, by the so long as I make it through National Poetry Month. At that point, I think I'm going to put in an additional 4 consecutive days at least of work to get to the even 400 consecutive uploads. But then what I want to do, what I really want to start doing, is taking a step back from the quantity. It I wanna start taking a step back from the quantity so that I can make the quality. You guys have noticed that I haven't, I'm sure it, well, maybe you haven't, um, that I have not uploaded The Great Gatsby Chapter 2. It's so much work, guys, and I have work, I have a full-time job and I'm starting to earn money other places online. And if my dream is to make the creator lifestyle my lifestyle, both YouTube, writing, um, general outside of the workplace phenomenon, the rat race, if you will. If that is what I plan to do with my life, sometimes I have to make a jump for the places where I can make the money, and not a whole lot of money in talking about books online. So, not that I am going to not that I am ever going to abandon this project. My plan is to cover everything on this channel, and I mean everything. My plan, if you caught I have a personal channel that's always linked in the description below. If you have ever caught any of my goal setting videos there, I say very often that one of my goals for this channel is to revolutionize the way that literature is talked about online. And I really do mean that. It is difficult to put a hand around what that really means, but I am making a shot at it. I think that the longer form videos that I do, I think that the higher editing value videos that I do, the darkest series here on the channel, some of the stuff I did with Edgar Allan Poe back in October, the Great Gatsby as it has been coming out, that's the direction I want to move with this channel, is those higher production value type videos. I just have to get through these 400 consecutive days of uploads. And once I do that, I will be able to take a step back and sort of get a breather. So that's one of the notes that I have for this month, actually, is the 5 Live Fridays are going to be, again, if you have any ideas for what you want me to read on a 5 Live Friday, let me know, because I will run out of ideas very fast, and I'll end up reading 5 Bukowski or Emily Dickinson poems real quick. Um, the I appreciate that, Leo. Don't abuse your. What an ironic place for my voice to crack. Don't abuse yourself trying to get out so many videos. Treat yourself better and not like a machine. I think we all like to see a healthy Adrian. I am a machine, and I am an animal. Human, we waffle on the human element there to the Adrian, but I prefer to think of myself as a machine and an animal. I want to cover everything on this channel. I really do. That is my goal. My goal is to cover everything. My goal is to revolutionize the way that literature is talked about on the internet. So, I'm never going to. So there's that old joke, right? How do you get to Fifth Street? Well, you can't get there from here, right? I can't get there from here. I can't get to all of those goals from here. But what I can do is I can weasel my way to Third Street, and then it's just 2 blocks up, right? So if I weasel my way to a thin sheathing of coverage of literature, for example, nearly 400 poetry discussions now, that's a sheathing of coverage of poetry. My big plan for poetry. I don't know if I ever said it here. Over on my personal channel in the goal setting series, there's a video about it, but 517 poems. That is the big series that I want to do. And it will be, I'll die way before I get to 517 poems, the way I want to cover them in that series. But the way I want to do it in that series is to put a whole lot more effort into things. Looking forward to the Great Gatsby read along. I appreciate that, Greg. I am planning to do 2 episodes for that series this month. That series, the darkest series, those are not thin sheathings over literature. That is the deep work that I hope to be doing on this channel. That is the deep work on literature that I hope to be doing on this channel. Holly, as it is, I plan on. So I've got the penultimate chapter read. The problem is I have so many notes taken on it because it's, I believe, a 60-page 2 chapters. The problem with it is I have so many notes taken on it that I'm not going to be able to cram it into a 30-minute video. Now I have to decide if I want to edit together 2 separate videos, or if I want to really talk about the important stuff in the chapter. And then the final reading for Holly is just 6 pages. It looks basically like an afterword. I haven't read it yet. I haven't gotten ahead of the series itself, but it looks like it's basically just an afterword. So it's that series I should be able to wrap up this month. Not the review. Unfortunately, not the review. So the big problem I am going to be having is what I have to do is get ahead. We are at the end of this month. I will have uploaded for 365 consecutive days. I am out of lead. I have no lead. So I have to try to build a lead back this month because my plan for National Poetry Month, my plan for April is obviously daily uploads on poems, but I want to keep getting through The Great Gatsby, which is a very high effort series for me. And I want to start a series on Carrie by Stephen King because Carrie turns 50 next month. Carrie, the novel, turns 50 next month. Bob says, I've been an inspiration. Uh, make your own channel. I don't know. So here's the thing. As opposed to making a booktube channel, Bob, what I would suggest is making a media type channel. I I think you I'm going to assume you have some favorite movies as well, maybe a favorite genre of movie as well. Maybe you have favorite video games. The video game commentary market on YouTube is absolutely blowing up right now. So commentary on video games, commentary on movies, commentary. I don't know if you have favorite TV shows, things like that. That's what I would do. Uh, the reason that I kept and have kept Strip Cover Lit so closely focused on literature as literature written words is because I have my personal channel where I'm going to talk about I'm not a big movie guy anyway. Not a TV guy basically at all. I liked the Mandalorian series when that came out, but other than that, I don't remember the last TV show my TV show was Scrubs, right? Um, and if I don't know that I would change my channel because literature itself is so very important to me. And I'm not saying it isn't to you, Bob. But if I were starting a channel from scratch today, I think I would do it with literature and movies, and if I were a gamer, games, and television if I watched television. Greg says, I love Carrie. Very impressive for an author's first published work. I'm not going to assume that you know the mythos surrounding Carrie, and for anyone who does not, Stephen King was I believe it was either a high school or a middle school teacher. You're welcome, Bob. Don't take my advice. Do your own research, right? Do what your doctor says is best for you. In case of a 4-hour erection, I don't know if you know the mythos around Carrie. Stephen King was teaching either high school or middle school English, and he was a writer, and he was typing up on Carrie on the side. Just after work, he'd be going to town, maybe with some booger sugar. Who knows? Probably not at that point, but we can't say for sure. Definitely with beers. He loved the beer. And he got to the end of it. He rewrote it. He redrafted it. He threw it away. His wife, Tabitha King, dug it out of the trash can, wiped the cigarette butts off of it, wiped the cigarette ash off of it, and said, No, no, this isn't where this stops. You're submitting this. You're getting this published. I think he had rejections on it as well. And then it became one of these things where he tells the story. He got the phone call. I believe he was at home. He had gotten off work and gotten home. His wife was still at work, and they called him and said, "Hey, we want to print your book, and we're going to put it in a soft cover, a paperback afterwards." And he thought they said the wrong number. He thought they said 47,000. or 47,500. It was $475,000, something like that. I can't remember exactly, but there, I mean, extracurricular to the text of Carrie, there's a lot of stuff to talk about. And uh, by the way, I don't know if you have ever heard this. One of the big things I want to talk about is I can't remember how it's spelled, but the word itself is Carrie. It is a demon. I is it Kerrie, something like that. And oh no, I'm not spelling it right. I'll have to go back and check my notes. It's something that I happened upon just by serendipity. Maybe it's Carie. I can't remember, but it is a Greek, I think, um, a Greek spirit of vengeance that was represented by a woman, I think, something like that. Um, or maybe it's Caries, Caries. Anyway, it is something that I will be working into the series. It's something that I happened upon. But anyway, that is for April, not for March. I'm getting a little beside myself. But this month, I am hoping to. I've already shot. I'm one video ahead now. Archaic Torso of Apollo by Rilke. So that is one thing that will be coming Tuesday. I'm going to do so. Plath will still Sylvia Plath will retain ownership of Mondays through March. Probably going to retain ownership of Mondays through National Poetry Month. The 4 poems on the docket this month. Let me check. Yeah, four Mondays in March. Spinster, Departure, Maudlin, and Rhyme. Actually, I guess it will be Spinster, Rhyme, Departure, and Maudlin. I lost uh, my vision there. So Spinster, Rhyme, Departure, and Maudlin by Sylvia Plath on Mondays in that order through this month. A very short story by Ernest Hemingway and Soldier's Home by Ernest Hemingway. Those are the short stories that I want to get to this month. Now, you will notice 5 Fridays in this month. So that's five. Archaic Torso of Apollo makes six. Hawley, 7 and 8. The Great Gatsby, 9 and 10. Sylvia Plath, uh, 11, 12, 13, 14. A very short story, 15. Soldier's Home, 16. There are 31 days in this month. If you have suggestions for maybe poems, let me know about them. I have been doing a whole lot of Pablo Neruda on the channel. I've been doing a whole lot of Rainier Maria Rilke on the channel. So I will have, what is that? That leaves 15 videos to make. Um, Probably this month will be heavy loaded towards the front end with poetry in order to again try to get back that lead and also to allow myself the headspace in order to plan out what National Poetry Month will look like on this channel. So National Poetry Month hopefully will be 30 video it will be, so long as I have a kicking chance at it, it will be 30 poetry discussions in 30 days. Hopefully, there will be a couple episodes of The Great Gatsby that I am also able to throw up in the month of April. And then there will be at least a couple episodes of Carrie. So we're probably looking at 34 ish uploads in the month of April. Uh, so March going to be a little bit rough for me. I'm going to have to try to dig myself out of the hole. Right? Any other questions? Any other things to talk about? Any suggestions as far as poems? Maybe from Neruda, maybe from Rilke, maybe from Rumi. By the way, did one poem from Rumi last month. Um, Rumi is always an interesting read. Rumi strikes me as if sort of um, Rumi is almost like Wordsworth and Sun Tzu had a baby. That's kind of how I would describe Rumi's writing to myself. He has the sort of brusque assertions of Sun Tzu with sort of the subject matter of William Wordsworth. So that's a comparison I bet you didn't think you were getting today. So there's that. Anything else? Anything at all? I am all yours. It is 1:30 right now, and I have a little bit of time before I have to go to bed. Again, I do work overnights for anyone who is unfamiliar with my sleep schedule. So I got just a couple minutes if anybody wants to put anything out there. Going once, going twice. All right, guys. I appreciate you being here. I hope to have you back for all of the videos that will be uploaded this month. It is going to be literature, as always. So, yeah, hopefully some Hemingway, some Sylvia Plath for sure. Hopefully some Fitzgerald, some Stephen King, some Rilke. And then be sure to leave me suggestions on, have a good one, Leo. Be sure to leave me suggestions on the 5 live readings as well. And I hope to have you back for the next one.